Welcome and thank you for joining me. I'm Cheryl and this is Your Journey Yoga. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Always good to have people with me, that you'll get notifications when I put out new videos, that you can come back with me and join me on the mat as often as possible. So I hope you're having a great start to your day. I hope it's just been a fantastic day. We're going to get some love for the hips. Happy hips, always a good thing. And as I've been teaching in person lately, the folks are just saying hips and neck and shoulders. So today we're going to tackle hips and get those hips as happy as we can. So gentle stretches whenever you need to, more intense stretches when it feels right, but listen to your body, let your breath guide you. Don't force things to happen, and just do your best to smile along the way. All right, guys, so a seated position, cross-legged if that's okay for you. If you need to have the legs out into a V, if you want to sit up on your knees, legs long, just whatever feels good to you. And we're going to sit up as tall as we can sit, and we're just going to connect with that breath real quick. Roll those shoulders up and back, and let the shoulders just gently slide down and away. A little smile on your face, a little lightness in your heart. We check in with that breath. Eyes are softly closed, hands resting on your lap wherever you like. If you wish, a little more formal hand posture. We're going to drape the wrists over the knees, turn the palms to face the sky, and bring your index finger to touch your thumb. So if sitting Indian style is a pretty decent stretch for you, my friends, very good indication that you've got some tightness going on in those hips, as if you didn't already know. Hopefully sitting cross-legged isn't too much, and it feels pretty decent, and those breaths can go slow and steady in and out through those nose. Quieting the mind, checking in with the body, letting go of tension along the way. Let's keep those eyes closed and just slowly walk your hands forward, releasing the weight of the upper body down. Now, as we hinge forward, you might notice that all of a sudden there's a deeper stretch in those hips. Maybe we need to release a little tension in that lower back. Just let it happen as it's ready. Let gravity do the work for you. You do your best to just release and let go. Inhale, lift just slightly and walk your hands forward just a little bit more. And then relax the weight of the upper body back down, pressing that tailbone towards the mat. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest. Inhale, circle the hands back by your hips. Big circle of those arms overhead as you hinge up nice and tall. And gently release those hands down by your sides. We're going to come up onto our bottom here, and I'm just going to turn sideways, a little easier to see. And we're going to bring those feet out in front of us, soles of the feet on the floor, and you're just going to lean back onto your hands. However you want to position your hands, you can be flat, fingertips can turn in whatever direction feels good to your shoulders, and we're just going to let both knees gently fall from one side to the other side. So as we shift those knees from side to side, just a little mobility also through the spine, but also a nice little stretch for the hips. Keeping the chest lifted so we're not sinking into those shoulders, and just moving at the pace of your breath. One more each side. And then we're going to intensify it a little bit. So coming back to center, we're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee. So you might need to adjust and bring your feet a little further out or pulling them in, whatever feels good to you. I want you to lift your chest a little bit and notice what your hip tells you. So that right hip, a little deeper stretch. Now we're going to take that the knee to the right and hold here. So that little rotation, working the spine, lifting out of the shoulders, lifting the chest, come back to center, and let's take it to the left. Sole of the foot as though that we're going to just gently place against the earth, pressing that right knee out and away. Core staying strong, lifting out of those shoulders. Let's take it back to the right. We're going to do this one more time on each side. So just that rotation, keeping the core strong, lifting the chest. Breathe. And back through center one more time to the left. And press that right knee out and away just a bit, lifting the chest. Checking in with the breath, coming back to center. Place that right foot to the mat, left foot crosses, and we sit up nice and tall. Breathe on your inhale, slowly take it to the left, and we hold here for a nice big deep breath. Coming back through center and then over to the right, as though you were going to place that left sole of the foot to the mat and press that left knee out and away. We lift through the chest so we're not sinking into those shoulders. We're going to do that one more time each direction. So taking it to the left, just noticing how your back responds, how your breath responds. Definitely the hips. Whole body. Back through to center and then to the right. So noticing that second time, that second pass through, maybe it's a little bit less intense, range of motion a little bit better. Coming back to center, placing your left foot to the mat, and we're going to come up nice and tall, taking those feet out to the outside corners of your mat. So a little bit of a wider stance, resting your hands on your shins, your knees, wherever it feels good to you. Sit up nice and tall, and then slowly begin to hinge yourself forward. So a nice long spine to go as far as we can go, and then just gently let that spine round over. Let your head be heavy. Great little release in that lower back. Really nice gentle stretch for the hips. Feeling that stretch all the way up the spine. Now starting at your tailbone, slowly roll yourself back up till we sit up nice and tall. And bring the soles of the feet together. We come to butterfly. So as you have the soles of the feet together, we're going to bring those hands to the ankles, and we're going to pull the heels in as tightly as we can get them. Sitting up as tall as you can sit, and then just gently press those knees out and away. Shoulders rolled back. Breathe. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, begin to hinge it forward. Nice long spine all the way down the back of your body, gazing forward kind of at a 45-degree angle or so. We want to make sure that we are not rounding through that upper back, that we are drawing those shoulders down and away and squeezing those shoulder blades just a bit. Feels right to you, bring the elbows out to the outsides of your knees or the insides of your knees and gently press. So we keep that length in the spine. We're gently pressing those knees down. We're strong through that core. Now slowly walk your hands forward and just let yourself round over. Breathe. Once again, starting at that tailbone, slowly roll yourself up, one vertebra at a time. Hands just sliding back up your mat. And let's sweep those feet around and come up onto all fours to a tabletop position. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees are hip width, core is nice and strong. Let's take a big breath into cow pose. Gaze and sit bones to the sky. We're just going to work out a little bit of kinks in the back here. Exhaling to cat, pressing your spine towards the ceiling, tuck your chin. Inhaling it back to cow. So just promoting that pelvic tilt, that mobility through the hips and the pelvis. Working out kinks in the back, just moving at your pace. Let's do one more of each. And coming back to that neutral spine. Let's sit it back to child's pose, either with those knees remaining close or opening up those knees, creating space for the tummy and the chest. As we sit those sit bones back towards your heels, this just really nice stretch to the quadriceps in that lower back, through the glutes. Again, range of motion for those hips. And let's inhale it up just enough to open up those knees and sit it back to extended child's pose. So maybe now you've got your chin or your cheek to the mat. More room for the tummy and chest to nestle down between those legs. A deeper stretch through the shoulders, down the spine. And we inhale, lifting just enough to pull those knees back towards one another. Sit it back to child's pose. Arms extend out nice and long. Hands shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers wide. Let's lift the forehead, tuck the toes. Press and lift your hips to the sky. Up to downward facing dog. We inhale it to high plank. Shoulders right over those fingertips. Exhale back to down dog. We're going to transition between these two poses. Just moving at your pace, my friends. Strong through the belly, lifting out of those shoulders, doing our best not to let those hips sag and that back sway. So really staying strong from the crown of the head all the way out through the heels. Let's do that one more time. And exhale it back to down dog. Hold your down dog. Feet are hip width apart, hands shoulder width. Spread those fingers and press your palms into the mat. Shift your weight to your left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right foot to the outside of that right hand. Heel is on your mat, toe is off, and rotate and extend. Right arm to the sky, reach it up. So with that little external rotation of that knee, that foot coming to the outside of your hand, we get a deeper stretch through the hip, through the groin. As you exhale, slowly place that right hand back, step it back to plank. Toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. And let's gently alternate bending knees. Walk it out. Nice big deep breaths. As you exhale, let both heels sink, shifting your weight to your right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Again, heel is on the mat, toes are off. Shift your weight to your right hand, rotate and extend. Left arm to the sky, reach it up, high as you can reach. Strong through the core, long out of that shoulder, up through the tips of the fingers. As you exhale, slowly releasing that left hand down, step that left foot back to plank, toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through up dog, and exhale to down dog. Find your breath, pressing through the palms of the hands. We're going to sway those hips side to side. As we sway those hips, we start to feel this nice long stretch all the way down the side of the body where the hip is swaying. Breathe through the ribs, through the waist, down the side of the leg. Just big deep breaths. Coming back to center. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk, step, or hop to forward fold. And relax the weight of your upper body down. Soft bend in your knees. Nice big deep breaths. Bringing the hands to the elbows, we hold on and gently sway side to side. Coming back to center, release the arms. Let's heel toe those feet out to the outside edge of your mat. Heels are on the mat, toes are off, and relax the weight of the upper body down. Now we're going to keep those core muscles strong. We're going to inhale and we're going to lift about halfway up so that we can get full extension of those arms. We're going to shift weight into our heels, and as you inhale, begin to bend your knees. And we're going to lower that bottom down to about knee height. And we're going to hold that knee height. We lengthen through the crown of the head. We draw that belly button in and up. As you exhale, slowly begin to extend those legs. Allow that upper body to be heavy. Again, inhale, slowly bend the knees, lowering down to our frog pose. Nice flat back, bottom no lower than your knees. And exhale, slowly extend. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lower. Now we can stay in our frog pose, or if your body feels ready, lower your bottom down. Now you can keep the hands down or lift the hands and pull them to heart center to garland pose. And we're just going to shift our weight kind of side to side, just play with it a little bit. So we want to make sure that we're being kind to our knees, kind to those hips, and we can feel the strength in the core, strength in the legs. Now let's come back to center. Lift the chest, draw that pelvis through. Breathe. Releasing the hands, slowly extending those legs. Breathe. Taking a hold of the outsides of the ankles, use the strength of your arms to start to pull that upper body in. So as we draw that upper body towards the space between the legs, there's this deeper stretch that goes on in the back, the hips, behind the legs. Gently releasing the arms and slowly lower back down into your frog pose. Nice flat back. Walk, step, or hop to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And exhale to down dog. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right knee through, foot to the inside. We come to pigeon pose. Coming over onto that right hip, if you're taking care of that right knee. Just getting a nice stretch for that right hip. Find your breath. Close your eyes, adjust your hands. If having those hands too far back is too much for that lower back, if there's too much arch, go ahead and take some of that out. Go ahead and come on down into sleeping pigeon if that feels better for you. Otherwise, stay up nice and tall. If you like, extend that right arm. If that causes you to tense up and squeeze through the hips, we're missing what we're trying to do for this pose. We're trying to let go of that tension in the hips. Both arms come up if that feels okay to you. Again, if that makes you tense up and you feel yourself almost lift up a little bit, come back down, release those hands down, and focus on letting go of that tension in the hip. Gently releasing the hands, and let's walk it forward. Either extending those arms or stacking your hands. Relax the weight of the upper body down. Nice big deep breaths. Now we can stay in sleeping pigeon. What a beautiful place to be. Or if you like, we're going to add a little deeper rotation here, a little more intensity, only if it feels right to you. If you're already feeling kind of a 7 or an 8, I recommend just staying here. If you're like, oh man, I wish there was a deeper stretch for my hip, you're in luck. If you like, lift just slightly. Rotate to the right, place that left elbow, left shoulder to the mat, stack the palms of your hands, and take your gaze up towards the sky, up over that right shoulder, right elbow. Breathe. So really feeling that love going on in that right hip, making sure that your right knee is in agreement. How's your breath? Always checking in with that breath. As you exhale, slowly come back to sleeping pigeon. And let's walk those hands back up. One hand on either side of your knee. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend right leg to the sky. Point and flex your foot. Roll your ankle and give your leg a little shake. And gently release it down to down dog. Holding your down dog, you're welcome to grab a drink of water, take a break, or inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And exhale to down dog. And we shift our weight to our right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left knee through, foot to the inside. Pigeon pose on the left side. So again, coming over onto that left hip if we're taking care of that left knee. Walking those hands forward if we're taking care of our lower back. Everything feels great. We're up nice and tall. Breathe. Slow, steady breaths. We're giving our body a moment or two to check in and make sure that all is well. Extending that left arm to the sky if you like. If that causes you to tense up, bring it back down. Both arms up if you wish. Shoulders soft. Away from those ears. Making sure that we're not creating more resistance, guys. Gently releasing those hands down and either walking those arms, extending them out, or walking it down and stacking your hands. Relax the weight of the upper body down. Just let your body melt. Checking in with the hips, the knees, your lower back, the ankles. your mind, your spirit. Now we can stay right here, or adding that rotation if it feels right to you. We lift just slightly and turn to the left, right elbow, right shoulder to the mat. We stack the palms of the hands, left elbow points towards the sky, and we lift our gaze up over that left shoulder and left elbow. Breathe, pressing that right elbow into the mat, tapping along that deeper rotation, just making sure that you can still breathe, slow and steady. And gently releasing, coming back to sleeping pigeon. And slowly walking your hands back up, one hand on either side of your knee. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky. Point and flex your foot, roll your ankle, give your leg a little shake. And gently releasing it down to down dog. Inhaling to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. Let's open up those knees and press it back to extended child's pose. Nice big deep breaths. Chin or cheek to the mat. And let's slowly walk the hands up. Come over onto one hip, sweep your feet around, and slide on down to the top of your mat. Legs are long, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. Let's cross that right leg up and over the left, so similar to kind of where we came towards the beginning of class. Bringing the hands behind us, and we're going to pull that left knee in. So again, those hands can be wherever they like. So we're going to intensify things here as we draw the legs closer rather than rocking the feet side to side. We're going to draw them closer. So if it feels good to you, give a little push with that right knee out and away, lift through the chest so we're not sinking in and losing our neck. If it feels good to you, lift your bottom, slide it towards that left heel, and then walk your hands in. So the closer we bring our leg to our chest and our chest to our leg, the more you're going to feel that stretch in the lower back, in the hip. So be mindful of that knee. Make sure that you haven't lost your neck. So sitting up nice and tall. Now you're welcome to stay right here. One thing we want to make sure of is that our bottom has stayed connected to the mat. So if by any chance you're kind of hovering up off the mat, back off a little bit and bring your bottom back down. Now we can stay right here or slide your bottom back just enough to release those arms, and we're going to wrap the crook of the elbow around the outside edge of your knee and around the outside edge of your foot. Breathe, lifting the chest, drawing that belly button in and up. The more you draw that shin in, the more you're going to feel that in that right hip. If you like, lean back a little bit. Possibly lift that left leg. Breathe. So now we've incorporated some core strength. If you just want to focus on that hip, keep that foot down. You don't necessarily have to lean back at all. Breathe. Gently placing that left foot to the mat, releasing that right leg, and extending your legs all the way out. Reach to the sky. Exhale, lengthen and hinge it forward. If you need to place that right foot to the inner thigh of that left leg, please do. Relax the weight of the upper body down. So by having that right leg crossed over the knee, that might be too much pressure behind your knee. Just slide that right foot along the inner thigh or the inside of your calf. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Extend that right leg out and cross the left. Sitting up as tall as you can sit. So again, we always want to make sure that we keep that neck. There's this tendency to kind of sink in. We want to stay tall. Bringing the hands around behind you and pull that right foot in. So you can adjust your hands wherever it feels good to you and sit up as tall as you can sit, drawing that chest and your tummy towards those legs, checking in each step of the way. If it feels right to you, lift your bottom, slide it forward, and then walk those hands back up. So again, make sure you still have a neck. Breathe. Pressing the chest forward, rolling those shoulders back. Checking in with that left hip. in with those knees. You can choose to stay right here. If you like, back your bottom off just enough to release those hands, wrapping the crook of the elbows around the outside edge of your foot and around the outside edge of your knee, and draw that leg in towards your chest. Breathe. Chest is tall, core is strong. If you like, begin to lean it back a little bit. If you like, lift that right leg. Breathe. So those core muscles are keeping us stable. Can you feel how they're working to steady you? Gently placing that right foot back to the mat, releasing your left, sliding that right leg out. So again, we can keep that left foot crossed over that right knee, or you can slide your foot to the inside of your thigh. Inhale, reach to the sky, flex that right foot, hinge it forward, reach it out, work to place the center of your tummy and chest onto that right leg, and relax the weight of your upper body down. Just breathe, guys, just breathe. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall. Release the arms. Extend that left leg out. Flex your feet. Reach to the sky. Giant beach ball on your thighs. Round over it. Hollow the tummy and chest. Reaching towards your toes or towards your shins. Tuck your chin. Lifting that spine. Hollowing out the tummy and chest. Inhale, reach it out. Flattening it out. And slowly rise. Soften your feet. Close your eyes and slowly roll yourself back. One vertebra at a time, coming down to the mat. And relax. Drawing one knee in towards your chest and then the other. Hands to the shins just below those knees. Pull them in nice and tight. And let's open up those knees just a little bit and pull those knees in kind of up towards your armpits a little bit. Pressing that tailbone down, drawing those shoulder blades down against the earth. Release the intensity, draw those knees back towards one another. And let's place that right foot to the mat and then the left. And we're going to walk those feet out just a little bit wider than the width of our mat, bringing the hands to the hips. We're going to draw the inside of the knee towards to the ground on that right side. So as you roll that right knee inward, notice that that right hip wants to lift off the mat. Do your best to keep it down. We're working to keep those hips as level as we can. Just working that range of motion, that mobility through the hip socket, that ball and socket joint of the hip. Really working to keep it moving as freely and gracefully as possible. And slowly, gently releasing that right side. Now we're going to heel toe that right foot in and allow that right knee to open out. That left knee just stays steady. So we've kind of come into a one-sided butterfly. So with that knee open, so we're working that range of motion right to the inside and then that external rotation. And now draw it back to center. Once again, pulling that foot out to the outside edge of your mat. And now let's work that left side, drawing that inside of the left knee down, just rolling through that hip joint, keeping that left hip down as best we can. Pelvis is level. Shouldn't be any pain, guys. Should feel really good. Just noticing where maybe you're holding a little resistance. Hopefully we've let go of quite a bit of it. And then gently releasing that left side, and we're going to heel toe that left foot in, and then allow that left knee to open out to the side. That right leg stays steady. So that one-sided reclined butterfly, that external rotation through the hip, working the inner thigh, the groin, just promoting that good range of motion in the hip. And then slowly drawing the knee back in. We're going to pull those knees in towards the chest and bring the soles of the feet together. Hands are going to be on your knees. So this is a little bit of a core exercise too, and it's kind of fun. We're going to work to keep the feet connected, and we're going to press the feet out, draw the knees together, pull them in, open the knees but keep the feet together. Gently press it out and away, and then close the knees and pull it in. So we're just making this big circle, almost like you're swimming. And pull it in, keeping that belly button drawn in. So it doesn't have to be a huge movement. So if you're feeling you're small at the back, pull off the mat, make it a little bit smaller. Keep that belly button drawn in, and just let those hands guide the knees out and back in. Let's do that one more time. Take it out and in. Now we're going to reverse it. So take the knees out, pull them in, draw the knees together, extend it out, open the knees, pull it in. Keep that belly button drawn in, extend it out. So we're working that range of motion, right? That ball and socket joint in our hip joint, while we're getting this great strengthening for the quadriceps, for the hip flexors, and for the lower abs. One more time. Open and close. Hands to your shins, just below your knees. Lift your nose towards your knees. Breathe. And gently release the upper body back down. Keep that right knee pulled in, extend your left leg out, and relax it to the mat. Right arm extends out to a T, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and gently pull your leg across your body. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Just take your gaze out over that right arm. So we've done lots of things for the hips to promote range of motion, to let go of tension, to let go of negative energy. Hopefully those hips are feeling pretty fantastic. If you have a tendency to hold negative energy in your hips, guys, really make a point as often as you can to spend a little time on those hips. Because anytime we hold tension in the hips, that can really change our gait, our posture, our sleep. Rolling back to center, extending right leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip, and slowly lower your leg down and allow it to come to rest. Left knee comes in, left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and gently pull your leg across. Keeping both shoulders on the mat just as best you can. Turn your gaze out over that left arm. So anytime we're having tension that's kind of pulling us off center, out of balance, our whole body responds. So keeping that body alignment is such an important piece of just staying healthy, keeping that body happy, being able to get those good night sleeps, to wake up feeling good, and hopefully being pain-free throughout the day. Gently releasing with that right hand, rolling back to center, extending left leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen that leg, little external rotation through that hip, and slowly lower your leg down. And allow it to come to rest. Let's rest our hands on our tummy. One hand just below the belly button, one just below the sternum. Let go of any tension in those hips. Let your feet just naturally roll open as they wish. Feels good to you, pull the heels in towards your bottom, bring the soles of the feet to touch, and those knees open out nice and wide. Reclined butterfly. So either position, perfectly fine, or if perhaps you are more comfortable on your side, your tummy, or a seated position, feel free to come wherever it feels good to you. Eyes are closed, and we give ourselves permission to step away, to take a little mini vacation, to find our breath, and allow yourself to just breathe. Slowly, gently drawing the knees towards one another. Rolling to one side. Using the hands to help us come back up. We find a comfortable seated position that feels right to you. Sitting up nice and tall, resting your hands comfortably wherever it feels good to you. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Taking a moment with a sense of gratitude, thanking the mind and the body for allowing you to take this journey today. Taking time just for you to help make the very best version of you that there is today. Let's gently open the eyes. Inhale, reach to the sky. Big circle of those arms to the out. Pull the hands into heart center. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your hips just feel happy and healthy and all full of love. I hope you have the best day ever. Again, if you liked what we did today, please subscribe and come back as often as you can. I love to be a part of your day. So thank you for inviting me into your home, into your life. Be well, my friends, and until the next time, namaste.